morning, guys. Happy Monday. I'm doing a car share on a Monday, which hasn't happened in a while because I normally go back to Braga on a Sunday night. But I really wanted to come on here to start off the week because it's actually going to be quite an amazing week, and I feel like as we get closer to the 28th, when the Inner Circle launches, I wanted to share a little bit more with you. So this week I'm going to start recording the lessons. And if you don't know about the Inner Circle, it's a program that I created that starts on the 28th of April, and it's online and it's once a month, and you then have access to the material always, so the recordings with the presentations to download and some workbooks. You don't have to do any homework, there's nothing like that, but you can learn. And the program is actually a course style, because I really feel like people need to start learning more than what they heard from people over the years, or on TV or magazines. Now remember something: when you read something on media, it's never from scientists or nutritionists or dietitians. It comes from journalists or media people that don't necessarily understand the science, and they will actually go for very dramatic headlines to sell and get clicks, right? So it makes sense that the information online is not accurate, but it doesn't make sense, but it is that way. And I personally feel like we can do better. Now, of course, even dietitians that studied years ago, they might actually have a very narrow-minded approach to nutrition, and we all have bias. We all do, right? I always come forward with the fact that I have learned that a plant-based diet is the best way to eat, and I am also vegan. I've been so for almost 11 years, and I absolutely love it. It works for me, but I made mistakes along the way, and I want to teach about those. But also, I wasn't flexible before. Like, I just didn't even want to hear vegan or plant-based. I didn't even know what it meant. And this is like 2013. You didn't really have the plant-based thing, whole food plant-based. You just had vegan versus non-vegan. And I naturally went into whole food plant-based because I was eating whole foods before, but I was sick, even if I had a really optimal, to what we say, diet. My cholesterol was too high, my glucose was too high. On a vegan diet, I got myself sick through a moment of stress, a very long moment of stress, where my food became very processed, was vegan but processed, and I learned a lot from it. I learned how much power we have in our health and how important it is to take responsibility. But I'm also an ethical vegan, so I am going to always find ways that we can be on this lifestyle and be healthy. And there are people that just don't agree with it, that are not looking at the science. And of course, being plant exclusive is not the only way to be healthy. Absolutely not. Science doesn't show that. But I always believe in aligning our ethos with our diets when possible. And if we can be healthy on a kind diet, then why not? And of course, everybody has to make a choice. So I will always present the information and the evidence as well, that unfortunately sometimes doesn't go in my bios, which is, hey, you can eat a little bit of fish and be healthy. But I will always acknowledge that, because I think that's fair science. So, and transparency is very important. But there are also people that are just continuing to perpetuate misinformation, even in the nutrition space, where you have to eat certain food in a certain order, or have fruit right after a meal. It's the worst thing you can do. Fruit ferments and digests very quickly in comparison to protein. So why would you have it at the bottom of the meal? Actually, fruit is best to be eaten alone as a snack. Any gastroenterologist that works with digestive issues will even tell you that. How to eat fiber in a good way, where to get the most fiber, how to deal when you have gastrointestinal issues, and so on. There are so many things we have to look at. But I always think this: your body is your compass. You will know how you feel and then apply different information. And one thing that I really believe is necessary in our approach to nutrition, which is why I created the Inner Circle, is that we have to be open-minded, that sometimes at some point, at some level, we might have to tweak what we're doing. Even if in one moment in time it might be working, the next it might not. So one of the things I focus on, especially for women, because that's my focus, women's health, is that our hormones play a massive role in how our digestion works and how we react to food, and also what to eat at certain times of the month. And so I will share this information because it really has transformed my life and my body. I don't diet. I don't think or worry about the food I'm having. If sometimes my body dysmorphia kicks in, which I sadly still have to deal with because it's something that is so deeply embedded in my subconscious, but I'm so aware of it now, I can step back and think I'm putting the best food in my body that will serve my health. I'm okay. And there are some times of the month where we look more bloated, where we feel more bloated, and we might not feel lean and dry as I like to be, like for example during ovulation time. I'm like So we don't always the same, but by tweaking our diet throughout the cycle, even if you're in menopause, by the way, we can thrive. Our body can do really, really well. We can stop this perpetual thought that as we get older we have to get fatter or sicker. The body changes and it will struggle, and what you were doing in your 20s will not work in your 40s and 50s and 60s and so on. No, it's normal, but you can take charge of your health and completely heal your body and work with it properly. I want to also teach you all these, understanding what's propaganda and what's actually science, and what again perpetuates misinformation, even when it comes to things like protein, how much protein we need, how important protein is, what protein is actually, because people are really confused about the role of amino acids, and they think you're eating a protein. You never eat a macronutrient alone. You may eat food that is really high in a macronutrient, but actually your body will have to break it down in different components. And when it comes to protein, your body needs to break down a full protein, a complete set of essential amino acids, into their own singular parts to then use in the body in different ways. So we get all the amino acids we need from plants, but at different levels. However, your body just doesn't get it in and gets it out. You can store it. So a diet that is very varied will give you everything you need. So unfortunately, I deal with this misinformation all the time, and there are people that just don't want to hear, and they think they know better, and that's okay, because everybody's on their journey, and I don't really care to have debates. I really gave up on that. I'm like, you do you. I just want to make sure that you're happy, and when I see people that are struggling, I feel sorry, but if they don't want to hear, they're not going to hear it, and it's okay, because it's their path. But if you are someone that is struggling and you want to make changes and you want to get out of the rut, then join the inner circle. I really created this with you in mind, because you was me. I struggled for over 40 years with my body, literally. I had periods when I was doing better than others, but overall this is the only time in my life when I feel I'm actually at ease and peace with my body, with food. And really, food, the peaceful part began when I went vegan. There must be something with the energetics, because something shifted drastically. But without getting esoteric, let's just stay in the science. It's the first time that I actually put food in my body, and my body's kind of happy. So I also notice when I can eat certain things versus other times when I can't, or how my body reacts to different ways that I pair food, or different things, and it changes all the time. And I'm so acutely aware of hormones now, which is why I focus on women and get us to a place where we can be healthy, and we can listen to our body, and we can thrive as we get older. So this is why I created it. So this is the exciting things this week, and I'm actually working on finalizing making Elevate a proper association, so that I can get grants to really do the events I want to do in a certain way, especially when it comes to marketing it. And I learned a big lesson last month, which was, unfortunately, even the partners that want to partner with you, if they're not invested financially in something, they don't do it, and it's really sad. But I think in any case it's better to make something official, so that you can push boundaries a little bit more and do something that can grow and it's got value. And this is a Portugal is a very bureaucratic country, and if people don't see paperwork, they don't understand that something can be just as impactful and important and established. They need to see that you are an association. They need to see, and I get it, if you're getting grants, you want to be an association because there are accounts that need to go with that and so on. So that's perfectly fine. But people think it's just like a hobby if you don't actually commit to making it more, I guess, more official. So it's a journey. I'm such a free spirit. For me, like actually clocking down with bureaucracy sometimes is like, oh my gosh, it's like a headache. And so I struggle with that part, just to be so like connected to the system. But sometimes you have to navigate the system in order to get to a better place, not just for you, but like for others that are on the same journey or want to get on the same journey. And last weekend was such a beautiful energy in the market, and we didn't have as many visitors as I hoped because of the marketing part. But the people that came to visit, people that had the stalls there, they were just so delightful, and everything was so organized, and it turned out to be beautiful. And this is me putting, honestly, 25% of the effort that I could have put, because it happened. It was just something that I wasn't sure about. But now that I know more and I kind of had a feel for it, I have a structure in my head, and I also have a structure that I have to put on paper to finalize the commitment to opening an association and actually getting partners on board that are going to be invested in the mission. So that is going to be quite cool. But yeah, it's been a really exciting week last week, and this week is going to be just as exciting. My biggest thing, of course, is the inner circle. And as I was saying to you, I explained what it is, I explained what we do. And for this year, the price is unbelievable. I am only charging £150 for the year, which gives you actually 2 months free, because if you join monthly, it's £15 a month. And so it is quite amazing to have that option that you can join us and really truly invest in yourself. But it's something that I really want to do long term. So something I'm going to add actually to the package is, if you are signing up for the first year, in the subsequent years when I'll do more masterclasses, you'll get the cheapest price, and when other people are going to pay the premium price, which of course is not for me to say it needs to be like amazingly expensive. The information in this course is really worth thousands of dollars. Like I spent at least $30,000 on my education just in nutrition after university. So trust me when I say there is a lot that goes into this, and a lot of valuable info. But I also know that I want to make it accessible, and I will have to put the price up because I want to make sure people actually understand the value of it. And again, you keep the information and the material forever, but for this first year, as I'm creating, really the people that are joining this year are going to be the ambassadors for this program, because you guys are going to be experiencing it for the first time, so you can talk about it, you can share it. So there is value in that too. And so I'm going to keep the price as low as I mentioned, because ultimately you are going to be the spokespeople for it, whether you want to be affiliates or not. Like, it's not actually about being an affiliate. It's just we share the best experiences, we share what we feel works, we share what touches us and resonates. So I know it will if you're joining, because ultimately this program is only going to be attracting people that are truly committed to making a change, and this is what I want. And so I see people just being really off balance with this concept in anything, like even with their business, their life. They're like, I don't know, they're just going to a victim mode, and I was there, so I understand it. But nothing happens by chance. Everything happens when you commit to it and you actually invest in your commitment to what you want to achieve, and you make it a priority. There is time for everything. One thing that I also will talk about is not just the food, but actually the pillars of health that go with the food, because they're equally as important, if not more, for you to commit to what you want to do and achieve what you want to have. And this is really is something we have to pay much more attention to, because sometimes we just forget that it can happen that way. We are so engulfed into, I don't know, this reality which is rush, and if you don't work 13 hours a day, you're not working hard enough, or if you're not, stressed out, you're not doing enough. Quite honestly, I am never stressed out anymore. I don't stress when I can control it, and I catch myself when I do, because I don't want to get sick. I'm gonna have to have my boundaries. That's with things, people, with everything. Boundaries are important, but also, what do I want to achieve and what do I want to experience in my life? Well, I want to experience abundance because I know that I do amazing things. I want to experience fulfillment. I want to experience a deep calling and results from my deep calling, because ultimately that's what matters. And this is what the inner circle will teach you to do. And trust me, when you change that paradigm shift, things happen for you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, holistically. They do happen. So if you want to learn more, check down for the link. If you want to get in touch with me and ask me any question, feel free. Open book. So if you can ask me anything about the program, about my experience. I have some amazing interviews that I've done with awesome channels where you can actually listen to my story if you're interested in learning more. I also have a couple of episodes on my podcast, The Green Life, that talk about my journey, and where I actually interview amazing people in the plant-based, whole food plant-based space, especially doctors, nutritionists, dietitians. So there is a lot going on where you can learn even for free. So take advantage of the resources. Check my website. Please subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram where I'm most active. And let's create magic together.